It is a sunny winter's day. Grab your coffee and let's potter around the houseplants. First up, my Begonia Maculata. I'm going to give her a good mist and a water. I know some people are scared of misting or don't like it or think it'll cause mildew, but I love misting. It really helps to stop you getting those brown crispy leaves that some plants are more prone to. I find it very relaxing to do, and look how happy my begonia is, so the proof is kind of in the pudding. One thing that is very important is airflow, and I do open my windows every single day regardless of the season. It is currently winter in Australia and it does get very cold where I live. It is a top of 10 degrees Celsius today and I still open my windows. Airflow is so important. It will stop you getting mildew, mold, having a stanky house. So let some air in once a day or more. Now this window is open, you'll be able to hear the parrots that are often outside my window. Again, I'm in Australia and we have lots of rainbow lorikeets and king parrots and kookaburras that live where I do, so keep an ear out for those. Now I'm just going to top water my begonia as well. If you follow me, you will know I prefer to bottom water most of my houseplants. This one I find has very high water needs, so I do top water it a few times a week. Drainage, of course. Can you see that? You can't. Drainage is a must, of course, and this ceramic planter does have drainage holes and a little catchment at the bottom. So I give her a water a few times a week and then I fertilize monthly. Of course, the front is stunning with these spotted leaves, but again, if you follow me, you will know I'm obsessed with the gorgeous red backs of the Begonia Maculata. She really is a beauty. This one gets the direct sunlight in the morning. I'm not going to do any watering of this one today, but of course always have to show off my variegated string of pearls. She's growing so well. I only water her every 1 to 2 months in winter and I always fill up the bottom, or I bottom water her, none on top. This semi-succulent gets a lot of direct sunlight through the day, which helps it to stay full on top. Next to my string of pearls is my variegated string of hearts, which is filling in nicely. Again, if you follow me, you would see there was a bit of an incident a few months ago. I was trying to untangle all the strings and just ended up losing most of the leaves, but she's filling in nicely. So don't worry if you have a plant fail, it will usually grow back happier and healthier. As well as the birds chirping, you can probably hear Marvin snoring, but that just adds to the cozy Sunday vibes. Another of my houseplants, which is a real water guzzler, is the bird of paradise. I don't think you can see the whole plant. She's quite tall. So I also water this one a few times a week, and it also has a bottle in it which slow drips, so it always has water even in winter. These big leaves need a lot of water to stay healthy and perky. So let me get the bottle and fill that up. So this is the spike which sits in my potting medium, and this bottle just sits on top. So it's like this in the plant, and the terracotta helps to slow the flow of the water that drips through. So let's refill this. So all filled up with water. I do just use tap water or rainwater. I'm very lucky to live somewhere where the tap water is fine for most houseplants. If this isn't the case, just use whatever water you usually would to water your houseplants. Can you hear how happy the birds are after the rain though? I just love them. Another houseplant that I will top water a lot is the Calathea. I find they're very high water needs, just like the Begonia, and when I water every few days I find again there's no issues with crispy leaves or anything like that. So let's go in with the top water. So some of my propagations are starting to look like a science experiment, which I guess they kind of are, but we are going to change the water on these ones. As you can probably tell, I don't change it all that often. I change it every few months or when they go green, and they have gone green quite quickly, and I think it's because I have been running the heater. So a warmer environment equals more growth. So a few others, my pink princess philodendron and my little Polka propagations also need changing, so let's do that as well. I'm just going to pour the funky water into a jug and not down my drain, and then I will pour this outside on my lawn or my outdoor plants because they can handle it. You can see some of the roots are still fine and white, but these older ones are a bit green, so I'm just going to rinse off these as well. Again, just using tap water, and then I will just rinse these out. I'm not going to use soap and scrub them because it's not that serious. I'll just give them a rinse out so they look cleaner, and then pop my propagations back in. And Polka. Pink princess. And a fiddle leaf fig. Good as new. What's not as good as new? She's a bit green. I'll have to watch that back to see, but there was just a huge downpour of rain, so you may not have been able to hear the ASMR, but that's fine. Now, if you are worried about algae growth and you want to avoid it completely in your water propagations, you can use amber glass instead of clear glass. If you have a look at these roots, same plant, this is also a fiddle leaf fig, in the exact same spot as my other propagation, and not a speck of algae. This is because the amber glass keeps the water cooler and there's no direct sunlight going in there either, which means no algae is going to grow. It doesn't have to be amber glass, you can use any colour that's not clear, or ceramic works as well. As I have changed the water in my propagations, I'm also going to add some plant food, just a drop in each. And I also have a hydro monstera here, which is fully in water, and a pothos also up there, so I'm going to add some drops to those as well. Potting around doesn't just mean watering your plants, you can also just admire them, enjoy new leaves that are coming out, or it's also a good time to check for pests. You really want to be looking under the leaves to make sure there's nothing hiding under there. In winter, you want to make sure you're not overwatering your plants. I mean, year round you want to make sure you're not overwatering your plants, but especially in the cooler months. This is because generally your plant won't be absorbing as much water. Of course, if you run the heater a lot, they may need more water. So it's all dependent on your environment, but generally they will need less water, and they are also often dormant during the cooler months. So you don't need to fertilize them as much either. So just admire them and clean the leaves if they need it. As it has clouded over here and it's no longer a beautiful sunny day, I'm just going to pop on some of my grow lights as well. And not too close, you don't want to burn your foliage. Yes, these are all water propagations, even in ceramic. And just like the amber, there's no algae. It's a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I haven't watered a lot of my smaller houseplants for a week and a half now, so I'm going to do a bottom watering time lapse, and that will be the last thing of my pottering around wintry plant care day. So let's do that.